Bo Nickel versus Shara Bullet is the fight that I want to see next because Bo Nickel is coming out of his mouth saying that Shara doesn't last 90 seconds. And if you're going to talk that way, you have to prove it, especially when you're coming off of a lackluster performance against Paul Craig, of all people, who's 9-9 in the UFC. And you want to talk about, oh, he beat Ankalaev, oh, he beat Jamal Hill. This is a sport of what have you done for me lately? And not much is from Paul Craig lately. And if Bo Nickel is going to talk the way he talks, and if people are going to pick him to be a future champion, and it's not if, it's when, and they're going to talk about Bo Nickel that way, and he's going to talk about himself that way, we gotta hurry this stuff along, man. We can't just keep babying them. We can't get giving them favorable matchups. This is the fight that I want to see. He's saying he don't last 90 seconds, but yeah, he couldn't even finish Paul Craig, man. Come on. If you're the guy that they say you are, you're supposed to finish Paul Craig 100%, especially after Hamza Shemaev had his performance against Robert Whitaker, where he absolutely shut the lights out and shut up everybody, me included over here. I was picking Robert Whitaker. He completely shut us up and dominated Robert Whitaker. That's what you do if you're Bo Nickel going up against Paul Craig. None of this, oh, he's really good at jujitsu, so why would I want to play into his world? You're Bo Nickel. You're supposed to be really good at wrestling. You're the guy who they're saying could make a world team right now today. If that's the case, why are you even giving Paul Craig's jiu-jitsu a second thought when you went toe to toe with Gordon Ryan? You went toe to toe with Gordon Ryan, man. That's no like laughing matter. Gordon Ryan's the best no-gi grappler in the world today and probably of all time. You went toe to toe with him. Why are you apprehensive of going to the ground with Paul Craig? It makes no sense, bro. I don't think this is an easy fight for Bo Nickel either. I think Shara Bullet has a lot of heart in him. He's lived a tough life. He's lived a hard life. Look at his eye. It takes a lot of guts and everything and heart to get in there in the state that he is. He literally can only see through one eye. It's I think he has more heart than Bo Nickel. I think he's more of a fighter than Bo Nickel. I think Bo Nickel is a competitor. I think he's a sportsman. He's an athlete, but sometimes athletes get into the game and they're not necessarily fighters. And Shara Bullet, to me, he's a fighter, and I think he beats Bo Nickel. Beats might be a little bit of the stretch, but I think he shows that he's on that level. I think when Bo Nickel does get him down to the floor, if he could get him down to the floor, but let's just say he does, he gets him down. I think Sharo's going to have some tricks up his sleeve, man. I mean, this is a guy who prioritizes damage. This is a guy who looks for finishes. I think he's got like a sneaky armbar or a sneaky leg lock attempt. He's got something that we haven't seen yet. He's got something. And I also think he's going to be very dangerous off of his back with elbows. They brought back the 12 to 6, so now he could really go crazy off of his back from elbows. I could just see it happening. I could see him cutting up Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel, sporting a black eye from the Paul Craig fight. Not much even happened to him in that fight. Bo Nickel, he might be a George St. Pierre type guy who just sort of marks up good. And against a guy like Shara who could do legitimate damage, that is, that's a bad sign. He might mark up Bo Nickel's face with hammer fists off of his back. We don't know. I'm not counting out Shara Bullet. I give him a decent chance, and I guarantee you, I'll bet the house on this one. I guarantee you he goes longer than 90 seconds. And that's essentially my main problem with Bo is that Bo, he wants to go out there on Ariel Helwani's show and talk about how, oh, I have all this pressure on me and all these expectations. What do the fans want from me? Blah, blah, blah. But you put the expectations on yourself, Bo. Nobody else did. You did. You're the one that's coming out giving people like Shara Bullet, instead of respect, you say, oh, 90 seconds he lasts with me, and you brush him off like this. You say things like your wrestling is better than Islam Makhachev's and you could beat Islam Makhachev in a wrestling match. You say these things. You connect your name to these great people in the sport. Now, Shara's not a great fighter in the sport yet, but he's right where Bo is at. They're both prospects, and he had a good performance. He had a hell of a knockout, probably knockout of the year. And you're gonna disrespect them by saying only 90 seconds. You know what I mean? I don't know. That don't sit well with me personally. It doesn't sit well with me. Now, if Bo Nickel went out and he proved it, if Bo Nickel took the fight with Shara Bullet and went out and dismantled him in, I don't know, 85 seconds, I would be stunned. I would be absolutely stunned and blown away. But, he was a minus 1200 favorite against Paul Craig for a reason, and none of that was there against Paul Craig. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go on Fight Pass and I'm gonna watch these guys' fights, and I'm going to make another video after this, sometime this week. Keep an eye out for it. But I want to see this fight. I think it could be very interesting, and I want to see Bo Nickel rise to what he says, not just say what he says and then cry on the Ariel Helwani show about the criticism after he does not deliver and he underperforms. Never mind that. I want him to actually go out there, call his shot. 90 seconds, you say? You say Shara can't last 90 seconds? Okay, bet. Dana, Hunter, let's get on the phone and make a deal done, because this is what we need to see now. This is what we need to see now. You got your guy out here on Front Street talking about people not lasting 90 seconds with them. Well, now he has to prove it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, whether you agree, disagree. It does not matter. Just join the discussion, follow for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.